In this video, we're going to talk about reaming, so do not go anywhere. I'm with Steve from Horn, and you're the specialist at Horn.
I certainly am, yes.
So tell us about your reaming solution you've brought with you today.
Okay, well the Horn reaming solution is manufactured by, in conjunction with Irma in Switzerland. We've had the standard range for 9 years now, and we've been developing that over that time. And recently we've introduced the small range, the DR small as we call it. And that's 7.6 diameter to 13 millimeters diameter.
Okay, so before we get into the guts technically, where does the range start diameter-wise, and where would it finish? This is obviously a large, insert.
Okay, right. 7.6 is the smallest, and I believe that is the smallest indexable reaming insert you can buy.
Okay.
And the largest standard at the moment is 140.6 diameter.
Okay, and presumably there's an overlap in terms of the shanks. You don't need a different shank per millimetre for argument's sake. So how does that work? Okay,
so going back to the small, we start at 7.6 and we go up to 13 millimetres.
On the same shank?
No, we've got 4 different shank sizes across that range. And then we go to the round shank on the standard range, which is 11.6 diameter, so you've got a bit of an overlap between those anyway. And that goes up to 35.6 on the round shank, and there's 5 different diameters on there. And then we go to the modular system with the integrated compensation device on the front, and that's the one that goes up to 140.6.
Yeah, in terms of the interface, when you've got a carbide insert and a steel or dissimilar material on the back end, that interface is key. So what's your interface like, and how do you make it secure during the machining process?
Okay, let me just show you on this one. What we have on the back of our inserts, it's a taper, and we have the inverted taper on the holder. So this one's held with 4 screws. And if you see on the holder, you've got the taper there, and in the back of the insert there's the same. And when you assemble it and tighten it up, it actually rings like a slip gauge. So that's...
Oh, okay.
But when you clamp it down, there is a slight distortion of the taper. So it's a bit like HSK, where you get that slight distortion. So that locates it, guaranteed within 4 microns.
And obviously you're the application across the UK application engineer for this, so how often does that fail?
Only when someone's had a bump. So yeah, if you have a drill break and then send one of these down, then it fails. As far as I know, we haven't had a failure in the system as such, and customers saying, oh, we haven't got any concentricity anymore. It just hasn't happened yet.
Sure. So in terms of reaming coals, obviously various materials, aluminiums, bronzes, all the way through to more challenging materials. So certainly. How do you cope with such demands?
Different geometries, different edge preparations, different coatings. We're recently having some real good success with titanium, Inconel. But we started cast irons, steels.
But you don't mind aluminium as well?
Aluminium, absolutely. Not very good for sales because they last for months and months, but yeah, aluminium as well.
So it's fair to say this complements your range well, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, when we first introduced it into our range, it was something completely different, which is why I believe I was asked to take on this role as a focus for this single product, because it was different.
Not just for grooving, of course.
Absolutely. So since 2010 really was when I first started getting involved with this. I've been the focus for the reaming product.
Okay, and obviously we've got a tool holder here. Is this part of the range, or do you have to buy them from elsewhere?
No, this is a tool holder, and I just brought this along just to show you when we've got the modular system. It's the ABS type connector, and it just locks in like that, and then you can extend it so you can get extension pieces to increase cut depth.
So if we go deeper, if we go longer, obviously that could be for reach or depth of a hole.
Yes.
You've talked about 3 micron accuracy and things like that. How does that affect it when you're bolting on extra variables, I suppose?
Okay, on this system, you've got the 4 screws around the periphery there. You true it up like you would a 4-jaw chuck. So if you could look really closely, you've actually got an etched band there to show you where to clock it. So once the tool's assembled in the spindle, you match that to the spindle, and it's fairly easy to do. I mean, when we have new customers, I tend to go in and do the training, and I don't think anyone particularly struggles with it. It's fairly straightforward.
Okay, and there we are. So how are they going to find out, people watching this video, how are they going to find out more about this product? And if they need help with their reaming, how do they get in contact?
Contact their regional sales engineer, and whoever it might be would give me a call. I'll call in. Because it's quite specialist, which is the reason I'm the focus for it. I will go in and look at the application and make some recommendations based on what I see.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for coming in today, and thanks for watching at home.
Thank you.